Hey everybody, what's going on? It's James, back here pre-Thanksgiving. It's been really busy and I got a little time, a little mind space, so I thought I'd get back on here, um, show some guitar based stuff, based music that been really listening to a lot of that the last few months. And yeah, thought I'd just to show some records, some guitar-based music that I've been listening to recently, and it was kind of kicked off, or was kicked off, because I recently got this Sonny Greenwich reissue, Sun Song, 1974. Sonny's, wow, he's one of my favorite, not just guitarists but musicians. He's in another league. He's in a league of its own. In terms of a guitar player. And, I'm not the first one to say this. I know it's been written about that, he's sort of the Coltrane of guitar. And I think if Train had a guitar player in his band, Sonny would have been the perfect guy in terms of his whole kind of mentality and approach to music would have been perfect for Train. But nonetheless, that's not really significant here. This is an amazing record. It's just so evocative. It's not even really in the jazz pocket. It just kind of he soars, just soaring stuff. And look at Sonny there. I mean, look at that determination, that focus. Spiritual for sure. I mean, that's overused, but this has a spiritual quality to this music. $18 this thing was, and that's how things should be. This $45 reissue limited edition thing is ridiculous. This is how things should be. Quality music for an affordable price. Great sound too, Sonny Greenwich. I'll stop on that. Next one is the Brazilian guitarist, and I always botch the name. It's Augustine Pereira Lucena. He was apparently influenced a lot by Baden-Powell. So if you like Baden-Powell, has that Baden-Powell sort of influence flavorings to this. This is a reissue on the Gerson label. I don't know when this originally came out. I'd have to look on the inner sleeve, but that black and white shot, probably the early 70s maybe. There's a little bit of vocals on here, but not much. Beautiful stuff. Next is, this is an interesting one. I just found this. This is Kirsten, Thora, Hollis store. I didn't know anything about this. This was in the Scandinavian section of a record store I found around a year ago. And just the fact that it said solo acoustic guitar and some of the song titles, Night, Star, Atlantic, Drift, Luna, made me think, this is going to be good. I didn't know anything about it. I love it. This has become one of my favorite records of anything, and it's on this VDSQ. There's a series of this VDSQ I've seen. I haven't picked up any other ones, but this is nice. I looked her up. She's also an actress apparently, and I think this is her only album. But she should put out more. This is really nice. It has that Scandinavian, maybe cliche, but it has that icy, atmospheric, contemplative kind of feel. It's certainly not just straight ahead solo acoustic guitar. There's a special quality to this one. So check that one out. Picked this one up recently. William Eaton. It's just called Music by William Eaton. This was originally a private press, and it just came out for wide distribution, I think a year or so ago. Apparently he was like a drifter type, and he settled in Arizona. He was living at kind of like a monastery, and he was making his own guitars. This has a Robbie Basho, probably, some people would say like a Robbie Basho Fahey kind of camp he's in. But there's an experimental quality to this too. yet it's still extremely beautiful music, desert quality. You can almost picture him playing this in the Arizona desert. William Eaton, Eaton. Very cool record. Next, Baden Powell. Most of you know him and probably know this album too, so I'm not going to say much about it. He's the master. Beautiful Baden Powell record, that one. This is on Saba. And sometimes I get mixed up. Was Saba a subsidiary of MPS, or they were sort of the same thing? Doesn't really matter. But yeah, trivial stuff. Here's one, flamenco guitar, Juan Serrano. Nice flamenco guitar record. This was, there he is on the back. This came out in 1967 on RCA. Yeah. Flamenco guitar. What else? Larry Coryell, Bolero. So Larry Coryell here, he's not doing his jazz rock thing. It's just him on acoustic guitar. So it's sort of like classical. He's doing like classical guitar, really here. They're all his own compositions, except for Bolero. Except for his interpretation of Bolero, he's doing all his own compositions. It was all classical guitar. This is on the String label out of France. Different side of Larry Coryell, but that's what makes him, or made him. He's no longer with us, but that's what made Larry Coryell such a virtuoso, is he could play so many styles, and he's still probably really underrated. Nice record, Larry Coryell. Here's we recently lost Pat Martino. So I was listening to him in honor a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and I broke this one out, The Visit. This is on Cobblestone. After he died, I was watching some YouTube interviews with him, and he was such a wow. I always revered him as a musician, but just watching the interviews with him made me revere him even more just as a human being. He was so philosophical and just had his perspective on life. I think anybody could learn from him, even if they're not even if they don't really care about music. It's just his ponderings on life and the way to live and the way to think about things. Great human being, Pat Martino. 1972, you got Bobby Rose on second guitar, Richard Davis, and the rhythm section, Richard Davis and Billy Higgins. I mean, excuse me, what do you say? Very moody, evocative record here, and he had that tone. Look how cool Pat is too. Back in 1972, he was always cool, but he looks extra cool right there. So yeah, Pat Martino, Joe Diorio, Bonita. Number of years ago, Sherv, aka Julius Tabar, had given me a Joe Diorio album, and then I found this one a number of years later at a record store in San Luis Obispo in Central California. Straight ahead jazz, nothing that's going to blow you away. Just a nice little record, probably a private press type of thing. The record label was actually, I think, the producer's record label, Dale Zdenek. There's Joe Diorio. You could probably find this somewhere for pretty cheap if you like just sort of straight ahead stuff. He does some standards, If I Should Lose You, Spring Can Really Hang You Up the Most, Hello Young Lovers. I think I don't know if he was a California guy or a Florida guy. I'm confused on that. But I wonder, do they make guys like Joe Diorio anymore? And what I mean by that is just someone who just devotes themselves to jazz guitar and just plays little clubs, puts out some records, doesn't really care too much about, fame and fortune, just does it out of the love. And I don't know, they make guys like that anymore. You know, we can walk into a bar and see a guy playing solo or in a trio. I don't know, the way the world is these days, it just seems like, I don't know. Joe Diorio, yeah. What else? A few more to go. Speaking of legends, Lorenzo Aleman trio. This is a later date, and in fact, I don't know what year this is, but by the looks of it, you know, he was probably up in his years. I think this was maybe the late 70s. It's on the Dobry label, right there. And here he's just doing, you know, his Brazilian stuff, South American music. Yeah, it's a trio. You have Robert Magnuson on bass, Alex Acuna on percussion. But yeah, a nice little Lorenzo Aleman record. And the thing about these guitar albums is the music's always really good, and you can always pick these things up for $6 or $7. People tend to buy these things, so you go into a store and there's usually a nice selection. You can just kind of grab a handful of them at a time. A few more to go. Recently got this, Marc Ribeau, Silent Movies. If you're not familiar with Marc Ribeau, I mean, he's been around a long time, so most of you probably do know him. You know, I think he started his career in the late 70s or early 80s. He's a New York guy. Did a lot of work with John Zorn and some other, you know, more experimental musicians. But this Silent Movies, it's just very spare, plugged in. Almost sounds like an electric acoustic that he's playing sometimes. Kind of haunting, very spare, moody kind of music. I'd always waited for this to come out on LP because it came out around 10 years ago, only on CD only. It finally came out, and it's on the Pi Records label, which is a really cool label. They always do a nice job of things. And I think Pi is starting to put out a lot of their catalog on vinyl, because most of it was originally CD, because they came out in the CD era. But yeah, Marc Ribeau, really nice record. A lot of it's nice, you know. The whole acoustic guitars or, you know, guitar music, it's nice, but, you know, it's a spectrum. You know, nice. You know, sometimes it can be a little boring. Sometimes it could be more evocative or interesting, but it's always good. Yeah. A few more. I got this not that long ago. This Paco de Lucia, and it's just it's the fabulous guitar of Paco de Lucia. I mean, even though that's in Spanish, even me as an American, I can figure out what that's supposed to say. This is on Philips, and it's just a collection. It's a single LP collection of stuff from essentially as early as 65. So it's 65, 78, 76, and 1981. Oh no, actually, sorry. There's stuff from 73, 69, and 72 on here. So it really spans his whole catalog, at least up to 1981. Paco de Lucia, you know, taking that kind of flamenco foundation and adding to it, and you know, pushing the boundaries. Great guitar player, nice music. Yeah, Paco de Lucia. And then the last one, Telezoler, the Hungarian guitar player. This is, it's just called Dream Bells is what it's called. It's on Inner City, 1977. There's the back. And it was recorded live in Munich at the Domicile. And I know there's some other live albums that were recorded there. I think the Charles Tolliver Impact was recorded there. Oh man, Telezoler is one of the greats. You know, some of his stuff was, I know later on he was a little bit more sort of in the pocket, like traditional. But early on, he really experimented. This is a great record. Has his 18-minute side 2 Dream Bells, a song called Dream Bells, which is almost like a free jazz kind of a thing. It's a trio. You have Frank Luther on bass and Sonny Brown on drums. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, Joe Diorio, I mean, look at Attila Zoller. Do they make guys like that anymore? I don't know. In 20 years, are they going to be guys in their 60s playing clubs that look like that? Or that they're that type of guy? I don't know, man. 1976, May 26th. But yeah, I'll stop the rambling. Hope you enjoyed it or got something out of it. I don't know. But guitar music, I mean, without guitar, where would we be? Years ago I said to a friend that two of the greatest innovations or inventions of humankind are the guitar and the burrito. So thankfully for those two things. I'll leave it at that. Happy Thanksgiving. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. All right, later.